sick joke. We're actually here with a real video.
So I guess maybe it's time we play catch up just a little bit. Our last upload was a few months ago when the ban list came out, and we genuinely did say...
It was, I think, 83 days ago,
yeah,
to be
exact. Long time.
Just no one quote me. I'm just shooting a number in the dark. But I think it's 84 at the time you see this. 84. It's been 84 years since we uploaded. Oh my god! I made the Titanic joke. Someone tell me if it was 84 days ago. Let me know.
Since our ban list reaction, we did say we were going to sit down at locals and try to play the game a little bit more, which we did. And honestly, the game is getting a little bit better, but it's not exactly where we'd like it to be to return fully.
Yeah.
We got Max 2, Max 3, the Asmina cards, and a bunch of additional support.
And don't forget the best set of the year, the Bonanza.
And Snake Eye is still the best deck.
Sure.
But somewhere in that timeline, we got brand new Orcus cards announced. It was the first deck I ever played and one of my favorite decks of all time, so I figured I would try to slap these cards together and figure out what the deck can do now.
So naturally, after not playing, at all in the last 8 months, Brian's inclination was to sleeve up Orcus, shmorcust, break by boardcust, and go to our OTS with like 50 plus people. And guess what he did, team?
Got top 8.
Wow! It wasn't the invite, wasn't quite close enough, but considering he hasn't played at all this year and showed up to an OTS with 50 plus people and got top 8 with Orcus, I think it's hilarious.
So we're just gonna jump into this list in case anyone's interested in what I played, why I played it, and for all the new Orcus support coming out for people who aren't familiar with Orcus and what it does, this is a great introduction.
And who knows? Maybe if people watch this, we'll upload again. Sooner than 84 days. Comment if you want that to happen. Do it for the algorithm. It might feel like too much to ask to have you like, comment, and subscribe at this point, but if you, I swear to God, we're gonna come back in full swing soon. I mean, this is a good step, right? It's a step. It's not a ban list reaction. It's not a ban list, but it's actual content. Anyway, we're gonna get some cards on the field, on the screen. Just running!
So starting off, we played triple copies of Yugioh, the Orcust Mechanite. This is
pretty.
the best starter card in the deck. And honestly, it's just like the best Orcus support now because we've never actually been able to play with 3 of this and 3 Hardcore.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy to say? It feels ridiculous,
This
but
card came out in Echo almost 5 years ago now, and it's finally playable in full capacity. Yippee.
So for anyone who may not know, Yugioh, the Orcust Mechanite is literally just Armageddonite, but it has the word Orcust in his name.
Armageddon.
Meaning that on summon, normal, or special, this can send any Dark Machine monster from your deck to your graveyard. It's really important because, this guy's at 3 now. It also has the additional effect where if it's the only body you control, you can summon a token to your field and your opponent's field. However, for what it's worth, that effect really doesn't come up in this build because we are playing a lot of other cards.
What a cool guy. Feel free to watch the lore video from 87 years ago with terrible production quality, but for some reason over 170,000 views. Go!
And then we are playing triple copies of Harpcore. Obviously, duh, right? This is the reason the deck is playable. This card went to 1 and now it's at 3. This card is broken.
Famous last words from every YouTuber doing a deck profile. Card's broken!
For anyone who may not know what the Orcus cards do, because fun fact, against I think 6 rounds, 4 of my opponents had no clue what these cards did. So maybe you're here because you want to learn about Orcus. So let's learn about Orcus. Orcus is a Dark Machine archetype where you can banish the majority of these cards from your graveyard, and then they will activate their effects to do something. Harpcore's effect is you can banish it from your graveyard to summon any Orcus monster from your deck.
They're also instruments. He's a harp.
Also, something really important to note, not Yugioh over here, but every other Orcus name that banishes from grave, when you activate that effect, it will lock you into special summoning dark monsters for the rest of the turn. Why is that important, you might ask? Well, if you watch this video, you'll see we're playing a lot of not dark monsters, so these are the last things that you're trying to do. Trust me, it works. And then for the rest of the Orcus names, we're playing the 1 copy of our symbol skeleton. Yeah, I know, just 1, but believe it or not, this card is Mizuki, one of my favorite cards of all time. This card, as an Orcus monster, can banish itself from the graveyard.
Oh, is that why he's a skeleton?
It's why he's a skeleton. I mean, that's what I think. I could be wrong.
I'm just making shit up.
I'm just throwing cards. Skeleton can banish itself from the graveyard to target any Orcus monster in your graveyard and then revive it.
It's my symbol summon.
And then we're playing double copies of our Orist Nightmare. This card is maybe the most convoluted thing to talk about and what it does. It's literally just Foolish Burial. But what the effect actually says is something like
it's like banish, the level times
banish
whatever.
This card, target any monster on the board, so it can be your opponent's going second, and then you can Foolish Burial a Dark Machine monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then the targeted monster that you targeted will gain attack equal to the level of the monster that you sent times 100. Literally so convoluted, if you send a level 3, it gains 300. If you send a level 4, it gains 400. Simple sounds crazy.
Jargon.
Simple! I will say, I'm on 2. This deck is at 41. 2, I think, is mandatory. Most of my time for siding patterns, I would have sided one of these out, and the amount of times that I opened one of these without a discard outlet and it made the game super clunky and super awkward, don't side this out. Please play 2. 1 makes sense until you draw. And then for our last Orcus name, it's not really an Orcus name, but we are playing the 1 copy of our World Legacy World Wand. World Wand, just like the Orcus monsters, can banish itself from the graveyard and then target one of your banished monsters and then summon it back to your side of the field. So this is how you get that infinite loop, right? You can banish the skeleton to summon something from your graveyard, and then you can banish the wand to bring back the skeleton from the banish, and then you can link them off, and then you just have the cycle going. Once again, all of these cards on the field right here will dark lock you. So make sure that once you've activated these, you can't summon anything else. And then our last Orcus monster, we're playing Foolish Burial. We are gonna go in just like clumps of the cards. So we are playing our Orcus spells and traps here. This is the 1 copy of Babel, the 1 copy of Crescendo. The new support makes this insane because you can get both of these on 1 turn instead of having to wait a turn and then get the other one. Babel makes all your link monsters and all your Orcus monsters in the graveyard quick effects, and then Crescendo, while you control an Orcus link monster, when your opponent activates anything, you can negate and banish. Crazy.
Crescendo was so ahead of its time.
Crescendo's
counter trap that powerful, like just absolutely bonkers.
And then pretty self-explanatory here, we're playing the
best
Orist
engine ever
monsters.
printed in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is so slept on because they're just eepy little Egyptians.
These cards are phenomenal.
You got triple Insetti Spaghetti.
1 happy, and then believe it or not, 3 copies of King Sark. I know a lot of people are playing 1, a lot of people are playing 2. I think this card is like a mandatory 3 of in this specific deck because you need discard outlets, right? I literally said I would open Nightmare with no discard outlets. We were playing like 15, 16 discard outlets. The amount of times that I would like activate King Sark, pitch a harp, and it would get like Ghost Ogre, that's totally fine, right? Because King Sark did its job. It got something out of my hand into the graveyard. I think 3 of this because it's effectively like a starter card because you can pitch anything you don't want to the graveyard. And if it goes through, you just get the additional names and the additional bodies, and the removal for this card is also fantastic. I want to open this card. Like, searching it with Insetti is great. I want to open this. I'm playing 3.
I love how the Horus engine has just become like the unbricking engine.
It's
like,
so good.
It's like, crap, my deck bricks all the damn time. Throw Horus in it, it'll fix it, I swear.
Can we get, like, I know the QCRs are probably done, which, like, I guess that's for the better, but, like, come on, we can't get a QCR happy?
What do you mean? We've got Duamataf. Where's Kapustinaf?
He's in the bulk pile.
Poor guy.
For engine number 3, we are playing triple copies of our Black Witch.
Cool rarities, dog.
I know. We need
on?
1 more. We're playing
2 ultis, 1 secret? Yeah, cool. Yeah, whatever. Oh my, wow.
Yeah,
what a weird reverse flex here, dog. No, I'm not just ripping on Brian for sport for this. We are actually going to do an OTS opening sometime in the future. I don't know when. Don't bank on an actual date. But we want to pull that 3rd Diabell star so that this doesn't look so shameful. So don't bank on this sticking around forever. It looks gaudy.
You may notice that we are playing the 1 Deception and the 1 Hollowed. This is because Black Witch are just discard outlets. So we're playing 15 discard outlets or something of that sort. That's what these are, right? I don't care about having the Black Witch, but having this Omni Negate with this package right here is just way too powerful. Being able to just pitch any Orcust monster from your hand to the graveyard to get an Omni Negate as well, fantastic. Speaking of sending cards to grave,
we're playing 1 Snake Eye Ash.
Here's 3 Engraver. 1 copy of Lacrima, 1 copy of our Fabled Lurie, and then the 1 copy of our Trap. I know this.
Look at it.
This was an engine that I was like really not a fan of when it first came out, and I'm honestly still not really a fan of it. The ability to just put 2 monsters on the board and make this is crazy.
Who wakes up and goes, I'm a fan of Fiendsmith? Like,
this cards are crazy.
Like, who does that? Like, I don't feel like anyone's a fan. If you are, I don't have anything nice to say, I'm sorry.
We're not actually playing Closed Moon in our extra deck because it is so tight, so we're trying to just play on hard mode and hard draw these. The best part about playing multiple engines here is that the Horus cards with Zombie Vampire, if you mill an Engraver, you can make the whole combo. If you mill a Black Witch, you can summon that out and get the whole combo. So there's a ton of ways to get to these cards in all of these engines, which is why I chose to play just like a small package.
You know what they say about small packages? No moon.
This is also a great discard outlet because if you can get to your tract here, you can just like grab the Lurie and then pitch an Orcust card and then just normal summon the Lurie. I think I did that more than I pitched the Lurie for like the actual effect.
Fable.
For our last engine,
you love him, you hate him. It's 3 cards of Cashier Fenrir. Yippee. God, I love him. He might be one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which sounds so psychotic to say, but he's just a guy.
I can't believe he's still at 3 somehow.
Do you ever have a soft spot for evil cards? What's your evil card that you have a spot.
You love this entire archetype.
Soft, I do. I mean, I do love Cashier.
Logan's at a Rise Heart Andy.
I know. I got a regional invite with it. It's just, I miss a Rise Heart. Comment your favorite evil card you love. Just if you say Maxi, then I'm blocking you.
I chose to play Fenrir because not only is it a fantastic card, but when your opponent shifters you, if you draw Fenrir, it's a great card to actually put on the board while you literally can't play the rest of your deck. And it's also just a free card. Fenrir Search Fenrir to like pitch off the Umseti is free. Fenrir Search Fenrir to pitch off of the Black Witch is a free card. Fenrir Search Fenrir to pitch off the Deception, it's a free card. These cards are just fantastic, not only because of the interruption, but because of the card advantage that they just generate.
They should have named him Freenrir. Free!
And that kind of brings us into our like going second suite. Real quick to round out, we're playing triple copies of Ash because of Max 2, 3.
Forehead, not feet! Say it with me!
Triple Imperm, and then the one copy of Called by for Shifter.
Yep.
Literally, this deck cannot beat Shifter unless you draw like Deep Barrier against Tempai, and that's sideboarded, so that really feels bad. Shifter sucks. I hate that card. I don't know why that card's still legal. I'm not going to go on a tirade about it. We'll do a banless prediction, and that'll be the first card you can all whine about.
There's not much to say about these 7 cards. Yep.
Moving on to the extra deck.
Bye.
We have the one copy of Dark. Now, I will say, for what it's worth, this was the only card that I changed from playing into this. This was Necro-equipped Princess. Princess? I found in playing that I really didn't need it because now that we have Lacrima, you don't need that card at all. So Dark is fantastic. You can just summon your opponent's Black Witch and get your Deception Engine online.
That's so stupid.
I think the Charmers kind of feel like a mistake now.
I'm the Charmer!
When you ask your opponent, the fact that they just get the full Princess combo you is like kind of ridiculous. The fact that like a Dark just gets to summon your opponent's freaking Black Witch and then Deception themselves. These cards are, nothing feels fair anymore. Speaking of fair, here's IP and SP.
2 peas in a pod, if I do say so myself. I still got it. 84 days, but I still got those improv blocks.
And then for our Orcus lineup, we're playing double copies of Galatea and the
so
one
pretty.
copy of our Long Gearson.
She's pretty too. Man, I love Orcus cards. They look so good, team.
I love these old rarities too. They look so good.
They're just one of, it's just good.
They are beautiful.
No, you.
Just like you. Galatea, for anyone who may be new to Orcust, can shuffle back one of your banished Orcus monsters and then set an Orcus spell or trap. So this is how you get direct access from your deck to either the field spell or the counter trap. Longirshu also has a really cool effect where you can target 2 of your banished monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then send a card your opponent controls that it points to, so either this way or that way, to the graveyard. The caveat is that he can't attack that turn, but that doesn't matter because he's always just becoming access code. These next 3 cards you should know, they're just the Fiendsmith cards. So Link 1, the Link 2, and then Desiree.
Truly innovative. Man, I've never hated a Desiree more. Such a likable name. Hateable card.
And then for our Asmina package, we're only playing the one copy of Sylvia. Small package, we're just trying to make this negate over and over and over again. Pretty self-explanatory, I feel like. Double copies of Ding. This card is
the guy.
This is
the
like
man.
This card is awesome. This is like one of the best cards in the archetype. On summon, this can either activate one or the other. Not both, but one or the other. You can attach one of your banished machine monsters to this as material, or you can non-targeting send any card on the field to the graveyard.
So nice.
Crazy. It also has the passive effect. If a card you control would be destroyed, you can just detach material to save it. Doesn't activate. It's just like a Bailings type of
Again,
effect.
Orcus was so ahead of its time.
Cards are
Having
so
a
good.
non-targeting send, the protection, like this deck was so powerful.
really
like
fun.
if you didn't play in a turtle format, the triangle format, this deck was a menace to society, and you were playing Azathoth as well as other shit.
The cool thing about Dingirsu is because it is just a generic rank 8, if you do still have access to your King Sark and you don't have access to any of your Orcus names, your horse monsters can just hard make this, and then you can just put this into the graveyard for something like a Galatea, getting your Orcus engine back online.
Yep, and then once you have Babel, you can just bring it all back. It all makes sense, I promise.
Self-explanatory, we're playing the one copy of Zombie Vampire.
Yep, Mill
right?
Summon, smile.
Obviously. And then my last tech card that I'm actually ending on most of my boards with Crescendo. We're not going for Babel, we're going for Crescendo, and the one copy of our Evil Swarm Nightmare.
Oh, wow.
So Evil Swarm Nightmare is effectively a double Book of Moon. Whenever your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach one material and then Book of Moon it. So being able to have these additional bodies left over from either your Horus engine or your Asmina engine or just whatever else you got laying around, if you're able to keep the Gearsu up and then like harp out a skeleton, you can link that away into Galatea, and then you can just send your copy of Wand, banish the Wand to summon out the harp, and then you got Gearsu, harp, Galatea sets the trap, and you can just overlay and make this. So that is the deck. I unfortunately did not get my invite, but I got top 8 after not playing for 8 months with one of my favorite decks. Something I'm really proud of and something I just wanted to showcase.
Yeah, literally, like, I had no offense, I had so little faith in him, like, going that I didn't even go to the OTS. I stayed home and, like, worked from home because I was like, dog, you're gonna go, like, X3, come home mad because Orcus didn't win. And then he was texting me every round and was like, I won. I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I'm really happy that he got top 8. Even if he didn't get an invite, whatever. We literally have played Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 4 times this year, so I'm not mad at all. I don't care what anyone else thinks.
This was fun. I like really enjoyed playing this deck. I think for the first time in 8 months, I had fun, and I think that's like it's a milestone for us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back eventually once they hit that stupid
God,
snake
we're trying
deck.
to find our passion in the game again, so I'm not trying to be hyper competitive about it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you want to see next. Maybe we'll do an OTS video. If you really want to see more test hands or whatever, just comment. Leave a comment. I don't know. Talk to me. I miss you.
Yeah, let us know. We miss you.
Yeah. I love you. You matter. Bye.
See ya.
Anyway, feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you don't want to. I totally get it. Sorry.
I think I should just keep all of these takes and just put boops in between all of them.